tell me something. When your wife's water broke, what was your sense of like, oh shoot, we got to stabilize this situation. How do we make sure that our child can stay in here forever? No, it's an invitation. Our water just broke. Yeah, what could happen next could be absolutely deadly. But to not understand that it is now time to call the hospital, to get that bag together, to run like hell, to care about those less fortunate than ourselves because they may be incapacitated. I don't think we're understanding what this moment is, for example. The idea that I believe it's 4 amino acids and 12 nucleotides that shut down planet Earth. Whether or not that came from a pangolin or a laboratory does not matter. It's a tiny change that led to a virality. This is the leverage level that we're now talking about, where a tiny change in the world with a large enough lever, Archimedes was simply right. This is the opportunity. And, you know, in the Jewish tradition, I have at least something I can say, which is don't wait for the bread to rise. This is your moment. You're being invited out.
But Eric, well, look, and I'm not a scientist and my background isn't in science, but I see AI and the rise of AI. And to me, and look, I'm of a slightly, you know, pessimistic mindset.
Okay.
He's a fucking depressor, that's what he is, isn't it?
But I see AI and I find it terrifying. I find it terrifying the effect it's going to have on people's jobs. The fact that it's going to obliterate a lot of jobs. What effect is that going to have on society? Am I right?
You just lost your capitalist model. You have a model with 2 inputs called K and L that's taught in every university that subscribes to neoclassical economics. What's AI? Is it L? Is it labor? Is it capital? What the heck is it? This is the first time that humans are not being chased into higher and higher levels of work. We're being chased out of repetitive work, whether it's high-level repetitive work in the way that a neurosurgeon might perform, or low-level repetitive work. So your model of economics just broke. Now, when your water breaks, when your wife's water breaks, it doesn't mean that the baby is born instantly. When the contractions are coming, 15 minutes apart, it's not yet time to be born. This is the moment. Why are we not holding a conference on after capitalism and communism? What is the next economic system? Do you imagine that Adam Smith and Karl Marx would just be sitting on their hands? No, they'd be smart enough to say, okay, we now need a new model. It is bizarre that we are sitting here inert saying, gosh, this is going to break capitalism. Well, no kidding. This is going to break capitalism. It's entirely clear that it's going to break capitalism. And you have this fabric. It's really fascinating. You have a fabric that is overlying the entire world that directs people whether to get up in the morning and what to do once they do rise. And it tells them how to do things without having a dictator. So it's not just the invisible hand, it's the invisible mesh. And this invisible mesh, if it breaks, means people are not going to know what to do in the morning. And now you can see that this is going to break it. Now you have a brief period of time with what my wife has called, she's an economist with the Institute for New Economic Thinking. She says this is the golden age of AI complementarity, where a human being making prompts can ask the large language model or neural net, whatever you like, questions, and the two of them in dialogue can create something. It's sort of like when humans and computers started playing chess together. This is going to quickly give way to where the AI says, I can take it from here.
And how quick do you think it's going to be, Eric?
Probably pretty quick, but keep in mind that there's some things that could happen. Because what these machines are doing is reading a human corpus, when it comes to language models, let's say, it could be that they asymptote based on how clever we've been. For example, they don't do a very good job in areas where there are fewer than 200 people writing about a very high-level scientific subject. So I ask these computer models a lot about determinate line bundles, not something in general conversation. And they're terrible at it because they don't know what to read or how much, they don't have enough. So it's possible that that could asymptote. But the thing you really have to keep in mind is that a clever person at one of these AI outfits might figure out how to teach computers to do things that no one has done. So we know that they have emergent behaviors, that you may not teach them Bengali, but they realize they have to learn Bengali in order to tell you about Tagore, so learn Bengali they do. That's an emergent behavior. What happens when they start to, I hesitate to give you an example because I think this could be weaponized. So maybe I'm not going to say what I think you could actually teach one of these machines. All hell's about to break loose. And my question is, are you trying to figure out which way the wave is going to break and get your surfboard in the water? Are you trying to figure out how to anticipate this? No, in general, we sit around worrying about it in the most inert way possible. And I just don't understand the learned helplessness. This is, your wife's water is broken and you're thinking, this is terrible. It's like you have to be thinking, get to the hospital.